Let's go. What's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
Yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We were 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Well Metaverse podcast. Peace.
Easy. I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
What it do?
What is up, man?
Man, I'm fantastic, brother. Fantastic.
We got we got through the intro. Now we're on screen chatting together. It's good to see your face, man.
Dude, it's good to see you, man. The metaverse star. Let's go. MetaConnect in the building.
Man, I'll tell you, my head's spinning. Like the things that are happening and the opportunities that are coming up and the people I'm connecting with. This, like the little dream of maybe this could turn into this, it's surpassed it.
I got a verse.
All right,
Right off the bat.
Let's hear it.
Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly beyond what you can ask or think. That's the dude. For a long time, I would quote that verse or hear that quoted, and I'm like, I would praise, and I would say, God, I'm tired of quoting that and not seeing it.
Yeah.
I really like if that indeed is a verse, I want to see this verse lived out. I mean, it happens without us even realizing a lot of times, but dude, just to see it, and particularly like as it involves you and just all that's happening with you, man, it's a huge blessing, dude. Just to see, of course, it is to have, but also just to have a front row seat in it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting because it just hit me when you shared that verse, and it doesn't even directly apply to that, but because of how good things are going, it has opened up some old wounds of like some dysfunctional workplaces that I've been a part of, and like a little bit of just like and it shouldn't, and like it's a testament to the people that I'm working with now,
right?
The people in the Soapstone and the people within the other organizations, like how awesome they are and how incredible they are and how healthy and functional these dynamic work situations are. It's amazing, but it does. It's like there's just that little thing of like, ooh, I remember being hurt once.
Yeah. It's like that abused dog, that abused child or person, man. It's like, whoa, but like it's
right.
But even being able to recognize that shows part of the healing process. And like, I don't have to give into this feeling because certain things trigger certain feelings. But like I always tell myself, man, feelings are real. That was a real feeling, but it's not right. Like I don't have to go with that.
Right. Actually, what did you say early on in this, like episode 1 or 2? Like, fear, you can come along for the ride, but you're not sitting in front. You can sit, in the back seat.
Absolutely. Sit your tail back there, put on your seatbelt, because you're going for this ride, doggone it.
Yep.
You're going for this ride.
Man, that is good. That is good.
Absolutely.
Man, so who we got here hanging out? Sturminator is in the house.
What's up, Sturmster?
Yeah. Hey again, love the new Soapstone. What does this mean now? Oh, so Sturminator. All right. Sturminator bringing up the newly published Soapstone and the co-branding thing with Dry Bar Comedy. What does it mean? It means good things, man. It means we're bringing some incredible talent into the Soapstone to perform. It means there will be some opportunities for the people within the soapstone. It's good. It
Yeah,
means
I'm
good
clapping
things.
along with Alma Jane. Keep talking. I'm just
Yeah,
clapping.
Alba. Yeah. It means good things. You know, one of the things about the metaverse is it's about accessibility.
Yeah.
And what this means is we're going to be able to access comedians from a front row seat with a small audience, and it's going to be really, really cool.
And not just comedian, which is part of the soapstone, is inviting those who've never tried comedy before to try get on stage. What's different about this is you've got proven professionals.
Oh yeah, we got pros,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's. But what's funny though, like as we're looking at overall programming and everything in the soapstone, this is a piece of it. But the other pieces are just as important. That open mic experience where people can come in and jump on stage and try some comedy. That's just as important as bringing in, the big gun heavy hitters that millions of people watch their comedy and all that stuff. That's great and I love it. But it's just as important to open up the opportunities for the little guy that wants to experience it and try it.
absolutely, absolutely. And dude, what I've known, even as much as a professional or lack thereof level that I'm on, man, the soapstone has helped me sharpen my skills like none other. Just I notice, like sometimes when you're growing, you don't notice your growth. But then you hit this another level of growth. You're like, wow, I'm doing this. Like I've noticed since I've just dedicated the time to hop in the soapstone, even when nobody's there, or if I'm in my own instance and nobody else is around, just to hop on stage and try some out, work out some mechanics. It's so cool, man.
Yeah. And it's probably worth saying, we've had professionals come through the soapstone already. So this isn't like a brand new thing that, hey, we got Jason, well, actually Saturday, Saturday, you and Akintunde are running the show, right?
Absolutely. Which is gonna be
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get to bring one of my friends who's new to the whole metaverse thing, and just who he's been in there, just kind of check it out. But now I'm like, dude, it's fun. Come on, let's go. And Akintunde is, man, and like in a genre of comedy, like he's one of the top in the field. He writes for several of the A-list comedians that you all know that see on, from HBO, BT Comic View, in the movies and Netflix. Like he writes for these cats, and he's a performer of his own. And just, yeah, it ain't no slouches to come through the Soapstone, that's for sure. So we get to do a
So
show this Saturday.
the people watching now, the Saturday night show is always a tough one to get into, but dial it up a notch on trying to get in this Saturday, because this is going to be a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible.
Super exciting.
Change, man. That's kind of the theme of this, and we're talking about all this good change, but change can be tough.
It can be. It can be. It's sometimes it's really all about relinquishing control and the control that we like. That's the reality.
Relinquishing control. That's not that easy to say, but it's even harder to do.
Yeah, dude. Hey, can we? It's a lot of comments coming in,
yeah.
especially from YouTube. And just shout out to everybody who watches on YouTube. That's just huge. But this dude in particular, man, getting things done. Like,
Yeah.
man, this dude, appreciate you for tuning in, and just I'm honored when you step through, because you're a giant in certain circles, man, and you come hang out and encourage us, so we appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Before we move on, though, Sturm asked a question which we need to talk about, because I can't let you just gloss over it, bro. So everybody who's watching, if you don't know what MetaConnect is, it's Meta's State of the Union address, the annual. Here's what we got coming. Here's where we are. Here's where we're going. It's a big deal. It's a conference, and it was done virtually. And our own unemployed alcoholic, Aaron Sorrels, was featured at the conference, man. A keynote speaker, dude. So first of all, it was good to be at MetaConnect and just meet at all sorts of different people who are involved in the metaverse. But then for you to be on that stage, man, talk to us. How was that experience? What was the feedback? All that good stuff.
So it was it was really cool. I mean, it was a huge honor, of course, to be asked to present. I mean, especially since it was a year ago at Connect where like the keynote there from Mark Zuckerberg like made me first think, oh, maybe there's something to this metaverse thing. So
Yeah,
then a year later to be invited to speak at it, like, I mean, it's just one of those head spin moments. Like, is this really happening?
yeah,
And so that, of course, was incredible and awesome. And then to be able to talk about the subject matter, it was me and another creator from Creta, which is their kind of two-dimensional creation platform. Really popular, really huge. Uh, and what we were able to talk about: community, collaboration, creativity. Like, I mean, you couldn't find a subject that's more near and dear to my heart. So to be able to brag up a little bit about the people that have been involved and just acknowledge the process, I thought was fun. Plus, being there, like it was kind of weird watching me on a screen as I was in my avatar form in the audience
yeah.
watching it. But I went into the room by myself, and then people started joining in, and it was so nice to be surrounded by my friends in the metaverse, and to be able to experience that together. It was cool. It was just
Yeah.
really a great experience.
What was also cool was it was literally like being in a. It had that conference feel to it, real live conference feel. Just seeing everybody. You and I were hanging out, about to go to a session, and then we got lost. And I like, well, I just catch up with him later. He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll bump into each other in the hallway.
Yeah. It felt like a conference. I mean, it felt like a trade show get together. You got things happening in different spots at different times, and then the general square for networking
Right.
and that, yeah.
The
Man,
the conference excitement about text, like, hey, where are you at? Hey, let's join up in parties to try to find each other. Dude, it was straight up. That was amazing. It
yeah,
it was like being at a live conference. It was so amazing.
it really was. It really was, and I gotta say, like it was pretty important that the team at Meta, I think, just crush it for that. And they did. Like the world build, but also the keynote. My goodness, the way that the settings changed.
Yeah.
Oh, and then of course, the apex of that, when it changes and all of a sudden a physical set comes up in the middle, and then Mark Zuckerberg walks out with legs.
Right.
And that was, I don't know about the session you were in, but the one I was in, like, I immediately ran down to the front, and then I looked and everybody was right down there.
Absolutely, everybody was running down. Like, yeah. It's funny, man. It gave like those like back in the day going to church when the preacher comes out for the little kids, he comes down, then all the kids come out
That's
just to
right.
listen to the story. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was doing. Yeah. All
yeah,
good things done, says he bumped into Sensei Jay. Yeah, like some of the networking that was happening there was just awesome. I like that, like the kids message, because you're right. The only difference is when it was done, we didn't all run out of the room and go get to you know
yeah. That's too funny.
uh,
Are you going to show clips of what people said when you were talking about this in VR?
yeah, Rose. In fact, yeah, that's great. Let me share a clip right here. Um, and let me set it up though, and let you know what we're talking about. The whole theme was on change and community. And this first clip, we were talking about the importance of changing with others.
Whenever in my life that I've like gone up against, like when I joined the army, it's a big deal. It's a big thing that you're going and doing, and you're leaving your family behind to go do it usually. But when you get there, you have other people there that are going through the exact same thing with you in your face that you can connect with. And when you're growing with each other. Where with the school situation, everyone was even isolated. So when they're going through this trouble, they don't have somebody their own age or somebody, close to them to be able to go through it with and grow together with, like you guys grew together, grew all this stuff together because you guys met each other here.
Talking about change and the importance of community.
Yeah.
And this was from a couple of weeks back, a couple Fridays back, and that was cool because one of the young men that was in there was talking about how difficult it was to go through the changes associated with COVID, and how they found community, and then that gentleman, of course, was talking about the military, and I love it how when he pulled it back to you and me, Jason, how he said, man, you guys kind of navigating through all this stuff and being there for each other. How cool is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's man, community. I'm a slap bit distracted because I just realized it's too much marketing going on here. I didn't do this on purpose, y'all, but I got Jason Earls right here, Jason Earls in the background. Like, like that's really weird. Right? I feel like changing my hats.
That's right. Yeah, too much marketing. That's
too much.
You can't have too much marketing.
Yeah, that's great. Man, but it's
let's see, I got the little unemployed alcoholic there.
Did I miss the live stream? That's hilarious. Oculus, where you been, man? I hadn't seen you, brother. Hope you well. But yeah, man, it's funny, man. I had an opportunity to speak at for this certain group, and this past Saturday, and we talked about unity. And there's another verse: "Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity." And man, just how good unity in a pure sense is, right? Or community in a pure sense, right, is. And it's kind of like I don't want to get all deep and but it's like the Hebrew word that is used there is tov, and that's the same Hebrew word when God created the heavens and earth. Like, it was good. And the same good there when creation happened, it's the same good when brothers dwell together in unity.
Yeah,
that's just so good.
Absolutely.
So, and unity and so my point is, when there's unity in a pure sense and in a pure, authentic community, human beings are doing what we were created to do, and that's to impact each other in a positive way.
Actually, that sets this up, and community can come through like Horizon Worlds. It can come through gaming, and one person shared with us during the live stream. I'm just like ominously pointing. Here's how somebody found community through gaming.
Well, I kind of had Fortnite at the time, so I,
Let's go.
Yeah, so Fortnite was really big at the time. They just released a new season, and all my friends from school, we all got on at the same time, started playing it for a few months. And I was already part of that like years before that, so to me, it's just like, well, time to go to this again and do my thing. So really, COVID didn't affect me that way. Like, I found my normal thing with that. But after a while, it kind of got boring. And we found other things to play, but it was the same thing after a while. But kind of boring.
Gotcha.
And I just needed more things to play, and I didn't really have much.
I didn't even notice it when I reviewed that clip. But what was that dude doing? Like delivering everybody coffee?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
dude. Good. Adding to gaming or just creativity. I was gonna transition that to something else.
Do it. Do it.
Okay. Speaking of which, I just saw this, dude. And my eyes got big because I asked, Oculos, where has he been?
Dude. Yeah.
This 2 words, Survival House, just launched as a community effort of 27 creators.
So anybody who knows Oculus knows that like he is Mr. Community. Like he just encapsulates what building community is about. And this dude through the video build team, they got a contract, they got an opportunity to build. And what did he do? He went out into the community, and like he was saying, 27 people he found to hire in on the team and collaborate to make this world. It's awesome. If you want to check it out, we've got a door to it in the soapstone right now, and it's wild.
Bruh. Oh snap. I'm knocking over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oculus
I'm about
says
to go right now,
yeah,
bro.
27 creators, paid world testers via video verification. Like, man, this dude and video, like,
This is
as an
insane.
organization, they're doing some cool things. They're doing some really cool things.
Oh my, I'm blown away right now. It's as soon as we hop off here, I'm gonna go check it out. I hope I got time.
Yeah, check it
I'm
out.
gonna have to steal some time to go in there and check it out.
I hear you. I'm on stolen time right now. Like,
yeah. So your life, I know we got some more clips, but your life has drastically been impacted now with all that you got going on in the metaverse. So how was that for you, man?
It's funny. And my wife Renee, her life has been impacted too. In fact, the the other morning, she gets an email from Amazon, and it says, "Hey, this package is being delivered to this person." Well, that person just happened to be on the television right at that time because we were watching his comedy special.
Yeah.
And Renee looks at her phone and she looks at me and she goes, "Did you get into my Amazon account and ship something to the guy that's on TV right now?" And I said, yeah. Why wouldn't that just be a thing?
Wow.
Yeah.
So good, man. So good.
Oculus says, shout out with the inside voice to Renee. And that's a callback. So right when the pandemic hit, I put this video out that is me wearing a suit and tie and sitting at the table with the laptop up and drinking coffee, doing my thing, and the big joke is at the end of the video, I stand up and I don't have any pants on. But the real big joke is the bloopers at the end, because as I'm sitting there doing that, Renee's in the other room just commentating all the way through, and she's like, "You are the loudest person in the world," at one point. And Oculus saw that video.
Hey, man, my man getting things done. He jumping in on the well metaverse action. He quoted what just referenced Deuteronomy 32:30. Yo, that verse is banging. This talk about community and collaboration efforts. It said, like, how can one man chase 1,000 or two put 2,000 to flight unless their rock has sold them, unless the Lord have given them up? So good, man. Two can put 10,000. So one man, like, yo, I got 1,000, but two coming with 10,000 out this piece. Let's go. The more the merrier.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. So, man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just looking at the clips, and I'm like, what clip should we go to? But I feel like we're going a different direction, and I like it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just in terms of change in direction, even Friday, the live show now, it's just become so refreshing in a sense of just you getting different insight from different people, different perspective. Even I love how two people can have differentiating opinions, and still we don't agree, but having healthy dialogue that's no one's offended by the fact that we disagree. Let's just talk through it. Like so refreshing in the world that we live in today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the dynamic shift that we did there. Like really two different experiences, to say, you know what? Because I feel like what had happened is the Friday we pivoted it too much to content creation.
Right.
We had a schedule. It was a production. This is what we're doing at this time and how we're doing it. And it didn't leave enough unscripted stuff to where you can have those genuine interactions.
Yeah.
So to break that out and drop the podcast altogether,
Right.
as much as you love to hear me say podcast, but drop that all together and just have this live stream as its own experience where we can connect with the people in the chat and do our thing, and then have that as its own experience. Have a little bleed over to where we share and keep a common theme, but to be present in each one, I think I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think what we've done at second. That's you never hear nobody say it. That's Rachel.
Second off,
right? And third off, what I'm saying is, and finally off. No, yeah. So, so what we did when we went to the new system of featuring content creators, that was great. But then now we've gone to I think we invite content creators just to come be a part of the conversation, and we just naturally kind of highlight them.
I was going to comment on that. You're right, because every episode that we've recorded, there's been somebody that's popped in and ended up being featured.
Right.
But yeah.
And I know you featured like Bia Roma came in, and just a great conversation. I was impressed with the stuff that she's doing from just how she's even positioning herself from a transactional commercial standpoint. So when she came in like this past week, it was just some good conversations, even about family. Like one thing that consistently pops up is balance, metaverse / real life balance.
Yeah.
And just how that you got to tune in next week to hang out. I don't want to give everything away that we're talking about. We'll talk about next week.
Yeah.
But it was just good. And after that, I hopped in her because she now has a door. Well, she had a door in Soapstone. Then I popped in her world. Like, man, it's great. And then I was like, you don't have any video on social media? We need to get you some video. And I was like, here, send me your email. And I sent her an email of like, hey, put this on your TikTok.
Yeah.
Collaboration
indeed. Yeah. Man, I am going to play this clip. It's a great clip, and it ties in with expanding the community and people being featured. Because I mean, we all know Trainer Cal and the British pub, and he talks a little bit about community at the British pub.
So really, it started off for a place where the British could just feel at home for a bit. But then we started adding in different cultures and, the Americans, the Canadians, and all these other words, the French, the Spanish now come in and find it that the community is so strong, they're actually attached to it. So they want to be involved with the community. They want to be on the Facebook page and post silly videos. Like I've had people do engagements on my Facebook group. Like there's a video of two people getting married in my pub, which is weird. Like
that's cool.
It's obviously all for the jokes, but it's funny. Like and people laugh at that. And then you see real friendships actually develop. And to me, that's the most important thing. It's finding, you know, you're kind of the matchmaker, if anything. I'm not saying in relationship, but to have a friendship, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So good.
Isn't Cal great?
He absolutely is, man. Just
Yeah.
such a great, amazing dude.
Absolutely. Cal's awesome. And oh man, boy, this has been such a cool time to just see the people around like get opportunities and grow. You know, Cal's got some new opportunities coming up, and you know, of course, Oculus, as we were talking about earlier, you know, like just seeing like him just step in and dominate this role, like just be who he is and do so great.
That's it. It's from day one seeing Oculus, even though I always misquote him. Dude, like that dude indeed is, he's been so community oriented. It's like, man, how can I help you? Like, how can we bring everybody together?
Yeah, exactly. How can I? This morning, I talked to him on the phone and or on the telephone. I talked to him on Messenger chat. Is what,
Wow, what's
yeah.
that?
Yeah, but we talked and like oftentimes, like I won't know what we're even going to really talk about. This might sound familiar. Like, I don't know what we're going to end up talking about, but there's always like these little gems of value that come out where he's like, "Hey, have you thought about this?" And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute." You know, but you know,
Yeah. And let me just say,
was one of those. Yeah.
I didn't know his head was so big in real life. Let me just say that. I didn't know.
Is that a quote?
Yeah. Like, that brother like LL Cool J.
Here's a quote. We shouldn't record these conversations. Yeah. Man, I needed this today. This was a really nice opportunity to just kind of, it's funny because like this feels like taking a break. This feels like just taking a break and just laughing together and connecting with people. Because man, things are busy. Things are busy right now, which is awesome. I love it.
So as we would in season 1 fashion, let's slow that down for a minute. Yeah, like talk to me about just being busy, but just recognizing the need of, yeah, let me go with this break that just showed up.
It's important.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Like because there's, you know, when the demands come on us, this, I feel like I'm leaning forward, like you were talking about in the metaverse, like when those demands come, when the demands come on us, like they don't have limits, they don't have boundaries. The demands are gonna be overwhelming and all encompassing.
Yeah.
So to say, hey, this is my time that I'm going to step away from that for a minute and just connect with my friend Jason.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I am going to have coffee with my wife in the morning. You know, that's about it. Those are the boundaries that I set up. You know, like, I mean, like truth be told, I got up at 4:00 in the morning this morning and worked for a while, and then enjoyed coffee with my wife, and then came back to it to, you know, crunching away and whatnot. But to have those times where it's just okay to step away for a minute.
You know, man, it's funny, man. That's why I know you and I had our time set for us to come in here. But man, I was doing coffee with my wife and I was like, no, I'm not gonna rush this.
Yep.
I'll be a tad bit just, I know what our schedule is, and I know we have that little buffer of time.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. I'm like, Aaron gets it. We're just yeah.
Well, and what's funny, like we didn't talk about this, but like when we logged on, that's the exact time that I logged on. Like I wasn't sitting there waiting because I'm like, you know what, Jason will get it. I'm going to be a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit late for our time, but we got a buffer in there, and it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's funny though that you were thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, and I think that's important regardless of what line of work anybody is in, whether you're a Fortune 500 CEO, whether you are, you working in sanitation services. Man, it's just important to just pause. I never forget what my neighbor, my former neighbor, was a very high person in this weapons creation engineer, just you knew he had a really good job and was really important. And and sometimes, man, I'll be outside around 6 or 6:30 in the morning, just enjoying the morning with a cup of coffee, and he'll be heading out to work. And here this guy, I mean, he's in charge of a lot of stuff. And he would just stop before he was on his way to work in the morning. And he was like, I said, "How you doing, man?" And he was like, "Man, I'm doing good. How are you, Jason?" And just him pausing, even though I was in the morning kind of getting my day off with a nice pause, and that made me pause even more.
Right.
It's like, oh.
Just to take that beat and not just snap off the response and be on your way, but take that beat to, who is it? He, real famous pastor.
Fred Flintstone.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James McDonald.
No, all right. Hold
Lord
on.
McDonald. Order in Your Private World.
The Crazy Love guy.
Oh, Francis
Francis
Chan.
Chan. Yeah.
Francis Chan.
So I heard him speak one time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could call it speak, but really, it was not speaking.
Yeah.
He said, "I want to open in prayer," and then he just stopped, and just silenced, and then he got down on his knees and just silence. It was a really powerful moment where like you just don't know what's going to happen, but it was taking that beat, and that was his point, to take that beat, to take that pause before going to God in prayer, to take that pause. Like
you will see there's oftentimes, like in one of the greatest books of poetry, with that the great King David, and he wrote a lot. He wrote a lot of music, wrote a lot of poems. And some of his poems, he would have this word called Selah. And I used to read these poems like, wait, what the heck is Selah? And one day, I realized that Selah was a musical interlude. It was a pause. So he would be saying this poem, he would drop some bars, pow, and just let the music play. And the purpose of this musical interlude where he paused was just for you to think about it. Think about what he just said. Like, man, how often do we have those Selah moments? My uncle, you talk about a pastor. My uncle's he's a musician, and sometimes before he'd get up and speak, he would just play the organ for like 7-10 minutes. Just wouldn't say anything, just get up there and play. And I'm like, man, let's get on with it, man. That's why Black Church so long anyway. Like, yo, get with the program. But then I realized, like, oh, this is a Selah moment. This is like a moment to pause and just chill. Like, you even see that on back in the 80s and the 90s show, when they had a cliffhanger or something would happen, and then they just start playing some music as the credits roll. It's just like for you to reflect. So we need those reflecting Selah moments.
Selah.
Right. And notice how your brain was like, "Hey, say something."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. Because you get in that rhythm. You know, and it's go. But to take a moment and just pause.
Absolutely. When I paused this in, I was like, man, I need to spray this mic because my mic is. We've been talking a lot on this thing. My goodness.
We're gonna mask in
Right.
these podcasts.
Sheesh.
Oh man.
Who's been talking on my mic? Nope, you did.
Oh.
The doggone dog. Y'all let the dog in my office.
Somebody had to. That's
somebody let the dog take a crap in here. It don't make no. Oh snap!
Oh yeah. Oh man. So what's up with you? What are you taking a pause from right this minute?
Dude, I'm taking a pause from busyness. Like, so you and I've been talking. More than likely, I've been talking about a transition that may be coming, and I more than likely a huge transition might be coming, and I want to be busy doing stuff. Even like, man, what do I need to be reading? What do I need to? But like, just resting. I've been journaling and just taking time just to get my thoughts, to get my thoughts together, or to think nothing, just to clear my head. Just, dude, you have this big task coming up. Stop thinking. Just slow down and enjoy life. Just like no gigs are on the calendar for the next. Well, I go somewhere next week. But just enjoying family, enjoying taking the time out and writing in a journal, and enjoying taking time reading. Dude, I left the house yesterday to go read. Like typically I read in the house, but yeah, or at the coffee spot. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to a nice little small restaurant. And then my wife was like, hey, I want to come. And I was like, come on. You're welcome to, but I'm not going to hang out. I'm going to read. And just for my wife to be sitting across the table from me with her on her laptop and me reading a book, just helping me, just gather my thoughts, man, has been so sweet. No pressure. No, and like you told me, in this time, dude, do nothing. Like just enjoy these moments of pausing and just enjoy being with your family. And you told me that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm letting y'all in on a personal conversation Aaron and I had, which we have rarely on the phone. We try to keep our conversations for here.
Yeah.
But dude, when you told me, like, dude, as you in waiting period, this is an important time. Like, enjoy it because you're gonna wish you had it. And I'm like, yeah, how can I continue to make sure I'm giving all of my family their individual time? So that's where I'm pausing from.
Wow. That was deep, man. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. That's and that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard to embrace a pause like that.
Yeah.
And say, what am I doing? Yeah, what am I doing right now? I'm resting.
Yeah.
I'm pausing.
Yeah, I called the guy yesterday. Just like, hey man, you've walked this road that I'm walking on. What about to walk on? Like, what books you suggest I read? Because I got like 3 books I want to read in the next 2 weeks. And he was like, Jay, you can read a lot of books, but nothing's gonna supplement you just having some quiet time. You just spending some time praying, man. You just spending some time just like you said, journaling. You got like, don't do anything different. I was like, yeah, but I tell you what, I am gonna do different. I'm gonna go see. I'm going
Survival
to.
House.
Yep, we're going to survive. I'm just trying to see the name of it. I'm going to Survival House. That's what I am going to go do. See that. I also, dude, I went into immersion. I don't know if you've been to immersion in the Oculus.
No, I don't. I haven't.
So basically, it's Horizon has another. It's connected to Facebook where you can just go. It's almost like workroom, but they say it's a focus space, and you go in there. You create these different workrooms where you can bring your computer screens in on your Oculus and a whiteboard and just draw.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I got one of them fancy new headsets coming, so as soon as I get that, I'm gonna have
let's
to
go.
get that.
Let's go.
Squared away.
I got college tuition payment coming, so that's two of them. They got 2 kids in college. Like, yeah, there's my expenditure income right there.
Yeah. You know, you can finance that stuff. That's what we did. So we're hoping Uncle Joe steps in and takes care of some of that.
That's too funny.
Oh man, this is good. Thank you so much for taking this time, Jason, and just connecting. Thank you guys for watching and connecting in. Oculos, want to take a minute to recognize both of us for bringing positivity and laughter to so many who need it in their lives. Thank you both. You're welcome, man. That's nice to hear. You are welcome, sir.
Indeed, you are awesome, brother. You're welcome, Oculus. We always love when you come and add some of the flavor. Like you always say, laughter. I'm just playing.
I've heard him say that. I'm just playing.
You know, Oculus has made me realize how much of like my granddad I'm actually am. My granddad was always misquoting. I'm like, that is not what we said, granddad.
Like I always kind of say.
One day I'm gonna write a book called Oculus Sayings.
Yeah,
kinda.
Yeah,
something like
I don't recognize a single one of those. Oh man,
I do have a memory like an elephant, by the way. So I think I do. Or something like that. Memory like a mouse, is it?
I don't ever remember forgetting. So
yeah, that's great.
All right, man. Speaking of rest, my time of rest is over and I got to get back after it.
Let's go.
Great show, fam. Getting things done. That's, man, I love this community of people that is gelling around this show. It's so cool. So cool.
Absolutely. It's you know, it's cool when who you are in real life is magnified in the metaverse. And when you're a great person in real life and you touch people in the metaverse, when you're outside of the metaverse, you think about those people. I find myself just the Oculus community, and you know, and everybody in Horizon. I just think about those people sometimes. It's like, I wonder what they're up to. Or they said this, you know.
Yep. Good stuff happening. Good people around. Great things ahead.
Do you see what Oculus
What did he say? Like Jason always says, if you magnify yourself, you become a nice car.
That's great.
I'll tell you what, you know, I mean, you and I both hang around with a lot of comedians who are very quick-witted.
Yeah.
Man, Oculus is one of the most quick-witted guys like I know.
That's hysterical. Yeah. He is. I love and you know, if you missed, like, Sensei J has a lot of cassette tapes of all the shows too. He's a great DJ.
All right, everybody. I think I don't know where we go from that. I think we sign it off. What do you think? We done all the damage we can do.
Shout out to the Meta Police, Lolly D. And the building, just like confusing everybody. Stuff.
You're right. It's just all right. Friday, we'll be in the metaverse doing the live studio audience recording of this. And then Saturday, you and Akatunde jamming it out on a stand-up Saturday show. That's going to be a tough one to get into. Oculo says, did he miss the live stream?
It'll start in a minute, bro.
Yeah, just stay logged in.
All right, hold on. Like two more minutes is gonna
buffering. And Sturm says, peace out. All right, everybody.
Deuces.
Peace out. We'll see you very soon.